Hi guys, so today I want to talk about something that I saw Mark Ferris talk about on his channel this week, which was his top favourite films. Now, I study media at university, so film and making films and TV and all that sort of stuff is right up my street. So I thought, kind of borrowing / stealing the idea from him, I would see what my top films are and what your guys' top films are as well, and hopefully some of my films will be your favourites as well, and if they're not, or you haven't seen them, I definitely say check them out. Now, these are in no particular order, they're just my top, so we will start with number 10, even though it's not, I don't know why I just said that. The Purge Anarchy. Now, The Purge, the first film, I didn't actually see until recently really, and I fell asleep during it. The Purge, the first one was about a home invasion, and it just kind of lost its excitement and what it really could be. And so when they brought out the second Purge and I saw the trailer for it, I was like, I need to see this. So I went to the cinema with my friend to watch it, and it just blew me away. The Purge is it's a yearly holiday, I guess you could say, where people, for 12 hours, people can murder other people and it's legal. So all crime is legal, so looting and rioters and murder and all that sort of stuff, everyone can do it, and there's no emergency services for those 12 hours. So basically, if you go out to purge, someone could kill you and there'd be nothing you can do about it until it ends. So the second one is actually set on the streets of the Purge. I think it's set in New York, I'm not too sure. I don't know American geography. But basically it follows three main storylines it follows, and they're all different. So one is a mother and her daughter who live in an apartment complex, and they get ruffled up, I guess you could say, by the government, which is quite shocking. The second one is a man who wants to go out and purge his son's death, and the third one is a couple who are going through a divorce and they get caught up in the purge completely by accident, like they don't want to be a part of it. And it's very interesting. The story shows a lot of classisms. So you see how the rich purge and how the poor people purge and how they all get mixed up within it. And it's just a very, very interesting movie. My next film, which is an absolutely adorable film, it makes me cry every time I watch it, and that's Tangled. Now, if you haven't seen Tangled, you really need to. It's a Disney movie about Rapunzel, and it's about a guy called Flynn Rider who is a thief, and he stumbles upon Rapunzel's tower and he helps her come out into the real world and all this sort of stuff. It's beautiful, it's so pretty. Rapunzel is adorable. The songs are amazing. My favourite song has to be At Last I See the Light. It makes me cry every time. It's just so, it's such a good film. And even though it's a Disney film, I wouldn't say it's just for kids. Like, people, I mean, I'm 20 and I enjoy it, so people of any age can enjoy this film, really. The next is a new film, and I don't think it's out on DVD yet, but I went to sit in the cinema with my boyfriend and I loved it, and it is Deadpool. I love Deadpool so much. I went into Deadpool with very, very high expectations, and they were not, I was not disappointed. I thought it was hilarious. It's a film about a superhero who isn't very hero-like. He starts off as a missionary and ends up, kind of spoiler, getting cancer. And this team say that they can help him cure it. And then instead of curing his cancer, he becomes invincible and he ends up becoming a superhero. And it's so funny. It's completely different to any other horror hero movie I've seen. Obviously this one is well, in England it's rated 15, where usually superhero movies like the Avengers are rated 12A. So it's got a lot of adult themes. It's very funny. The soundtrack is amazing. And it's just a really good movie, and Ryan Reynolds is perfect for the role of Deadpool in my opinion. You should definitely go see it. The next movie is one of my all-time favourites, and I've been loving the TV show at the moment, so I can't wait for that to come back in April, and that's Scream. Now today I'm only talking about the first one. I have seen the sequels, but I can't remember them as vividly as the first one. But Scream is a horror movie by Wes Craven, who is one of my favourite directors. And yeah, it's about a group of high school students who get picked off one by one by a serial killer, and he's the Ghostface serial killer. And it's just so interesting. It breaks the wall and the dimensions of what a horror is. Basically, the way you describe it is it's a horror movie that makes fun of other horror movies, and it's about breaking the wall of what a horror movie is. So it takes a lot of hints and stuff from other horror movies. Like there's a cameo by Wes Craven, who is dressed up as Freddy from Nightmare Before Elm Street. In one of the scenes they watch Halloween, there's a character in it who is my favourite, who talks about horror movies and horror movie tropes and what goes on. So it's kind of like a bit meta that he's in the horror movie yet he knows about horror movies. So it's a really, really good film, and it's a proper original horror film that's completely different to others. Another one like this is Cabin in the Woods, which is also really good, and I wasn't sure if it'd be that good, but then I watched it and I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. It's such a good film. So if you want to see Scream, or adding another film here now, Cabin in the Woods, do it. So next film, I couldn't actually remember the name of it, so I googled Mr. Bean's spy movie and it came up with Johnny English. Johnny English is a random one on my top 10. I haven't actually seen it in ages, but I know that every time I watch Johnny English, I literally cry laughing. It's hilarious. It's got real proper British humour in it. So it's like a proper British movie. Obviously it's got Rowan Atkinson in it, who is an amazing actor. He's brilliant in it. And it's a proper parody of the James Bond type movies. And it's just so funny. And yeah, whenever I watch it, I just cry laughing. And to go on to another great British movie is the Inbetweeners movie. Now the Inbetweeners series came out just before I started sixth form. And so whenever, me and my friends were obsessed with it. We loved this show. And so whenever something happened in our lives that was a bit awkward or weird, we'd be like, this is such an In-Betweeners moment. Like, we even labelled each other the characters. And the movie is just brilliant. It follows 4 boys, who are the 4 main boys from the series, going on their first lads holiday. And it's so funny. I can't remember where they go. Magaluf, they go Magaluf. Can't believe I just said that out loud. I went to stay at the cinema. The cinema was packed. I remember the cinema we went to couldn't handle the horde of people that came to sit, so they just let people in. People were sat on the stairs, it was a complete fire hazard, but it was so funny. It's a great movie. I've seen it countless times. My mum actually took my nan to go see it, and my nan likes it. So yeah, it's a proper lads holiday funny movie with a lot of British humour, and I think it works for everyone because people my age can envision themselves in the roles of the boys and what could happen on holiday. And like, my dad even said that some of the characters were so true to people he met on holiday when he was around my age. So it's one of those movies that everyone can really connect to. The next one is literally a movie that motivates me like nothing else in the world, and that's Legally Blonde. Legally Blonde is such a good movie. If you're a girl, you need to see this movie. It's a real feminist movie, which is great. It follows a girl called Elle Woods, who is a complete inspiration of mine, played by Reese Witherspoon, one of my favourite actresses. And she lives in a sorority house called Delta Nu. And she basically, mini spoiler, she wants to get engaged to her boyfriend, but he says that she's not serious enough for him because she's too blonde and pretty and girly, I guess. And she finds out that he's going to Harvard Law School, so she gets into Harvard Law School going like, oh yeah, I'm a stereotypical blonde bimbo, but I also go to Harvard Law, like. She's breaking all stereotypes, and it's about her discovering what her value is and how people who she thinks are right for her aren't, and find out who she really is as a person and stuff. And it's an amazing movie. The next movie, which is also kind of a feminist movie, you could say, is Mad Max Fury Road, which came out last year, and it stars Tom Hardy and some other great actresses. I can't remember their names, but one is Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, which she's one of my favourite models, and she's also a great actress. She was also in Transformers. She took over the role from Megan Fox, I believe. I haven't seen the movies. And Mad Max it's like a sequel, like a carry-on from the Mel Gibson Mad Maxes. And basically Tom Hardy plays Mad Max, and it's about these girls who are trying to get away from this overlord who uses them as like baby machine type things, and it's about them trying to get away to a better future. It's basically like a road trip movie really, in substance really, but it's so good. There isn't a lot of storyline. It's basically the girls go off to this place, find it's not what they think it is, and come back, and that's it really. But the cinematography, the editing, the choreography, the acting, everything is just so good. I'm not huge on action movies. I went to see this because I thought, stuff it, I love Tom Hardy, I'm going with my boyfriend, why not? It's something to talk about. I was astounded. I couldn't take my eyes off this movie for a second. It was so interesting. And then obviously at the Oscars it won 6 Oscars, which I think it deserves really. It really does deserve those Oscars. It's also got the guy from About a Boy and Skins in it, and he's a great actor. He's in Warm Bodies playing R. He's a great actor as well, he's really good. And it's just such a good movie. And what you got to remember when you watch this movie is it's all real. There is barely no CGI in it apart from in the background. So like there's a bit with a dust cloud, of course that's CGI, but all the moments with the motorcyclists and the drivers and the cars flipping and people going through fireballs, that's all real. Like that's not fake, and that's just crazy to think about, that they put so much time and effort into just the choreography and making every scene look good. Next one is a movie that everyone loves, and I'm going to quote it to you. And it is Wednesday today and I'm not wearing pink. Oh no. I guess you can figure out what I'm on about, but that's Mean Girls, and I love Mean Girls so much. Mean Girls is one of those movies that is just timeless. It's hilarious, it's relatable, it's got a great cast, and it's wonderful. It is probably, out of all the people I know, the most quoted movie ever. There are so many little moments that you can quote from this movie and remember, and it just is such an amazing movie. Even now there's a quote that's like, on October 3rd he asked me what day it was, and every October 3rd I see at least 2 people tweet that quote. And this movie came out like years ago, like ages and ages ago, and they're still quoting it, which is mad. It's such a good movie. It follows a girl who moves to America from Africa called Katie, played by Lindsay Lohan, and how she falls into a group of friends called the Plastics. And with the help of her other friends, they sabotage the Plastics' life because they're just not very nice people. They're the cool kids at school. And it follows Katie's personal growth and character development, and it's just a really good movie. Finally, my favourite movie. I feel a bit awkward talking about this one because it's very different, but so good, and it's called The Girl Next Door. The Girl Next Door is a coming-of-age rom-com about a boy who wants to get into Georgetown University, and he's always been a good student, a good boy, and then he meets his neighbour's niece, and she basically shows him that there's more to life than getting good grades, and sometimes all you need is a bit of a road trip and a bit of fun to really enjoy life. And it's a really good movie. I don't want to give too much away, and there's a big part to this movie that if I said it to you now on camera you'd be like, oh my god, why would anyone want to watch that movie? But it is really good. I found this movie because I had BBC 3 on one night and they played it, and so I thought, stuff it, I'll watch it. Watched it and I was like, oh my goodness, that is an amazing movie. And they played it, I swear they played it like every night for a week or something stupid, and I watched it every night, and I love this movie. I don't think enough people know about this movie. It's a brilliant coming of age rom-com. It has a lot of strong characters. It makes me cry. Even just listening to the soundtrack makes me cry. It's very quotable, and it's stunning. It's an amazing movie. I want to know what your favourite film is, because I'm always looking out for great films, and if you haven't seen any of the films that I've spoken about, I definitely urge you to watch them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, and I'll see you next time. Bye!